I mean, it's pretty bad for Manchester United at the moment. I am a 36-year-old football fan from the southeast of England, so naturally all my peers are Manchester United fans, and I'm always talking about Manchester United with my friends. Many of you know, I'm a Chelsea fan, and we've got our own problems at the moment, but fortunately, this channel I don't talk about Chelsea, I talk about all the other teams in world football, so let's reflect on what the ruddy heck's going on with Manchester United, because it's bad. It's real bad, and it could get a lot worse. They've lost again. It's 4-1 in the Premier League to Newcastle United. And it's not a story, and not one person on this good green earth is shocked. Manchester United are 14th in the Premier League table with a -7 goal difference. Not quite at that safety of the 40 points yet. Fortunately for them, teams are awful in the Premier League. Yeah, dude. They have lost 14. Is that right? 14 games. My giddy aunt, she's off her nut. And yes, look, many of you know me from football therapy. I'm not talking about Chelsea. I always feel like I need to offer that disclaimer. So I'm talking about Man United. Now, Manchester United, obviously, are not going to qualify for Europe. Certainly not through the Premier League. It all is on the Europa League tie. And to be honest, they're in a pretty good position in terms of 2-2 in the first leg, which is away from home against Lyon. But we'll talk about no Europe in a moment. But there's problems, isn't there? And I'll tell you what the problems are. For example, a player that scored a goal in that first leg in Joshua Zirkzee, who looked good. And in this game, looked good against Newcastle United. He pulled up with a hamstring injury. So, like, how's your luck, Man United fans? And, of course, the big talking point, and I reacted to it here on the channel, the Andre Onana drama. He was benched, and Bayindir came into goal for Onana. And I'm just literally glancing down at SofaScore here for reference. Bayindir was the lowest rated player who featured in this game out of 32 players. He was the lowest rated with 5.5. The second lowest was 5.6. And of course, there was a Man United player in Mazouari. It's really bad. So they're like shining light in Joshua Zirkzee is gone now. And to be honest, when Garnacho scored the equaliser after Tonali's opener, I was thinking, like, as a Chelsea fan, this is great for Chelsea. But Newcastle United, they just sort of went, even though they're a bit out, they were at times a bit out of sorts. And sadly, the manager's unwell in hospital. Thoughts are with him. Hopefully it's nothing serious, Eddie Howe. But they were just like, these guys are not good. And they're not good. And we're getting to the point now where people are going to... Well, they have stopped playing the badge and they're playing the team, which is a very, very wet Manchester United. And they're going into this return second leg against Lyon on Thursday without Joshua Zirkzee, scored the goal, presumably, because he's got the hamstring, with this absolutely insane goalkeeping situation with both Bayindir and Onana. I mean, Bayindir basically passed the ball to Guimaraes for the fourth goal, who linked up with his midfield homie Joel Linton and scored the fourth goal. And they've been slapped. They got slapped again, but it's not a story. It's not a story. Look, Manchester United need money. They're in financial problems, or at least that's what we've been led to believe by Sir Jim Ratcliffe speaking to Gary Neville, like, we're screwed financially. No one can have lunches. We're, laying off 450 workers at Manchester United collectively, which is chicken oriental, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. He's moaning about how they're still paying off the transfer fees for Anthony and Sancho, two players that aren't currently playing for, Manchester United. Now, we should say, Of course, they've just lost this game to Newcastle United. Newcastle United have won a trophy this season. They're in excellent form. They've got settled, good players. You know, they're midfield free, bro. Like, Joel Linton's like inspired since he became a midfielder because he was a striker when they bought him. You know, obviously Tonali's found sensational form. Guimaraes, amazing. You know, there's good vibes everywhere. Dan Burns now an England international. Jacob Murphy's in the form of his life. Harvey Barnes, you know, 2 goals, looks amazing in the absence of Anthony Gordon. Alexander Isak, for me, the best striker in the Premier League. So they are a very good side and seasoned, and I think they will get Champions League football like Man City, probably at the expense of Chelsea, which is some sort of harrowing pain I'm not going to reflect on here. But Manchester United, they need European football, they need money, because I look at them, bro, yeah, and like, firstly, if they defeat Lyon and if they rally, because I want to speak about Amorim in just a moment, they got a chance, they got a puncher's chance of winning the Europa League. They do, because Bruno Fernandes is amazing. You know, maybe that Garnacho goal. I'm looking at their team, bro. Lindelof, Mazwari, the goalkeepers. Yeah, Lenny Yoro is, a good young player, but how is he supposed to flourish in what's going on? Eriksen starting in a double pivot in 2025 for Manchester United in a double six in a 5-back system. Christian Eriksen, amazing player in his day, but he's not this kind of holding player. And, you know, looking at this, and I'm sorry I'm going to say the line. Insert Simpsons meme. This is Manchester United we're talking about. And I'm looking at these, these guys, none of these guys get into any good team. Bruno Fernandes does. Lenny Yoro, I guess teams would want as a developmental centre-back. I mean, Ugarte, I don't think it's been good since coming in. Garnacho, he's always an outlet, but he's really underperformed production. And Xerxes, I mean, even Xerxes, it is poor, bro. And if they're not going to get any form of European football next season, they're in big financial trouble. Anyway, they need to sell. But they need a goalkeeper. Apparently, they need 2 goalkeepers. They need a centre forward. They need a proper central midfielder. They need wing backs. You know, the wingers aren't good enough, bro. They are screwed, man. It's nothing that they have got some good players. I know this is gonna. I do think genuinely Mason Mount makes them better. Fit in form Mason Mount if he's been starting all along. I know Man United and Chelsea and other fans wouldn't want to hear it, but I do think he's an excellent player and he fits the system well. Ahmed Diallo, of course, who's out. He's a great player. And you know what, Lisandro Martinez is I think the jury's out on him. A lot of people thought he was a great defender and then he was bad for ages, but you know, whatever. I'm sure Amorim would want him back. And it leads me on to Amorim. This guy, man. He was on top of the world. He was happy as Larry. He was, top of the league. He played 11 games of Sporting, won all 11 of them. Not even invincible, 100% win record. Slapped up Guardiola 4-1 in the Champions League with his Sporting team. And let's just see where Sporting are now in his absence. Are they still top of the league? They are indeed still top of the league with only 2 losses. Oh, they're joint top of the league with Benfica. So maybe Amorim, his absence, although Benfica are currently playing. I don't care about the Portuguese league. Look, the point is, Amorim, I genuinely think he's probably quite a good coach. It makes you think as well, this game, Eddie Howe. He's an unsexy name, yeah? He's an unsexy name. I'm trying to piece this together because I'm an England fan as well, and I'm delighted we got Thomas Tuchel as an England manager. I think he's really, really appropriate for cup football. I actually think he's a good diplomat and speaker, despite being a ratty German. I think he's great. I'm very happy. And there's a lot of, England type of England fan that would have been like, should have been an Englishman, it should have been Eddie Howe. And maybe I've just got this prejudice from the Bournemouth and Newcastle thing, and don't know, he hasn't got much of an aura, bless him, and I don't mean that, in a neggy way. He's not very I don't know. There's something about him that's just not really like Galactico, is there? Like little Eddie Howe. And I think so. Is Eddie Howe a better manager than Ruben Amorim? Right, both young managers. Amorim's done very good in Portugal, by the way. He's not just some guy. He made Sporting good again, and he made people get up and take notice. So scoring those goals, they're a really good team. So Amorim's, if you said to any, again, Chelsea fan who are looking for managers in the summer, who would you want, Eddie Howe, Ruben Amorim? I'm not being funny. I'm saying that 95% of Chelsea fans are saying Ruben Amorim. Maybe that's just because we just want this exotic, different thing to not in our league. But I'm looking at this team: Barnes, Isak, Murphy, Joel Linton, Dan Burn, Trippier, Fabian Schär, what he's turned them into. And they've gone on and off the ball, and then when they're in Europe, they've struggled more, Newcastle. But he's done some great coaching in terms of player development. Barnes and Murphy, these aren't massive sexy names. They're not playing for England, but they're popping off here. Of course, the Joel Linton midfielder thing, the Tonali coming good, Isak, he was good. They spent a lot of money on him, but he's got better. But again, I feel you got to feel like if you throw Eddie Howe into Manchester United, does he sort them out? I don't think so. They are a mess, bro, and I don't know how they sort it out. It's really, really interesting because, let's just say, also, I don't know why I feel like I need to offer these disclaimers. There's an instance where Chelsea don't get Europe as well, but we've got the Club World Cup and somehow we've finessed finances in the game. It just could get worse. The thing is, again, 36-year-old football fan, Man United have had it all their own way in my lifetime. So, they could have this for another 10 years and I'd still think they deserve it. But I almost feel bad about that for them. And I certainly feel bad for Amorim. I mean, not that much because he's getting paid millions and he agreed to take the job. But is it the impossible job? I heard someone say, who was it? I think it was on the Football Ramble podcast. Marcus Speller, the host, says he would not be surprised if Ruben Amorim is the first Manchester United manager just to walk. Not wait to get fired to get that severance pay, just to be like, you know what? See you later. I've still got a high stock. I want to go and be a manager at a functioning, club. Because I've seen some people say Amorim out, and I don't know, man. I mean, maybe. I can't get my head around it. Does someone else go, right? Okay, you know what? I do want to play a 4-2-1 formation, but these men can't do it. I'm going to play a 4-5-1 and just running behind. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, Tottenham are terrible as well, but that could be another video. Yeah, no Europe, Xerxes. It's tough out here, man. Let me know what you think. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Multiple uploads every day. See you soon. Peace.